Now, if you're anything like me, when you think Audi Quattro, you think of a couple of things: snow, ice, and 5-cylinder engines. And in the case of the new RSQ3, with the Sportback model as well, that's an almost 300 kilowatt 5-cylinder engine. So it's pretty cool that they've kept that kind of engine in a performance SUV. As you can see, we've got plenty of snow and ice. In fact, we're on a frozen lake in Sweden, and we're about to test the new RSQ3 in a way that we can never properly test them in Australia. You can read our pricing and specification story for the full details, but the RSQ3 will be available in traditional guise or Sportback, which has a 45mm lower roofline. Pricing will start from $89,900 before on-road costs. Interestingly, Audi reckons the split will be 50-50 between body styles at the outset, so that'll be interesting to see how that changes over the on-sale life of the RSQ3. In the cabin, you get sports seats and a flat-bottom steering wheel that hint at the performance level as soon as you open the door. The execution of the cabin is typical Audi in that it's solid and neat. We like the 10.1-inch centre screen, which is clear, and it features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. In front of the driver, there's now the expected virtual cockpit, something that you wonder how you lived without now that you're accustomed to it. The RSQ3 has a sliding second row that means you can access more legroom or move the seats forward to store longer items in the luggage space. While plenty of people are going to love the Sportback, that will be the kicker whether you need more room in the second row, especially headroom. The centrepiece of the RSQ3's skill set is the ballistic 2.5-litre 5-cylinder engine, which generates 294 kilowatts and 480 newton metres in what seems like completely effortless fashion. It'll push the RSQ3 from 0 to 100 in just under 4.3 seconds. And while that 4.3 second figure might be a little optimistic on ice, the Quattro system means it feels more assured than ever. Now for me, these ice racing tracks are even more fun than a racetrack. I reckon it's a hell of a lot more fun to be going slowly sideways around a racetrack than it is to be trying to pick exactly the right line and looking for a time and trying to make every lap more perfect than the last one. This is an absolute hoot. And this RSQ3, you have to keep reminding yourself that it's an SUV, not a sports car. It's crazy what it's capable of. Obviously, the tyres make a huge amount of difference. And they give you a lot more grip than you otherwise might have. And I guess that's the key. You're driving on a very low grip surface thinking that you don't have grip, but in actual fact you do. But it's the Quattro all-wheel drive system that helps, especially in this sort of condition here on slippery surfaces like this. The other thing I love is how Audi's traction control and stability control really lets you have a lot of fun. I've still got ESC on. Effectively its lowest setting, but look at what it's letting me do with the car. It's crazy. I mean, I'm spending more time sideways looking out a side window than I am going forward. It's fantastic. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But the change of direction and the way that the engine, the gearbox, and just that drive system gets you moving out of a corner is fantastic. Now, we always say at these international launches that we can't wait to drive the car on local roads, and I guess with the RSQ3 that goes without saying. We can't wait to test it in Australia, and probably you're going to need a racetrack to find out what it's capable of, as we've used here. However, we say that with a little bit of a heavy heart because this is incredible fun here in Sweden, driving on ice and snow the way we have been. Now, the other thing that's going to be really interesting when this car gets to Australia is the sales mix between the regular RSQ3 and the Sportback. Maybe let us know in the comments section below which one you prefer and why you would buy the Sportback over the regular or vice versa. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and click subscribe, and stay tuned to caradvice.com for more details.